Shoutout, Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, it's me, Tamara, take two, because I've been having technical difficulties over here. Never with my internet just go out, you feel me? But I'm here, made it work, whatever. Thank you so much for tuning in. New listeners, new episodes drop every Thursday. Definitely appreciate you checking me out on my day 1, 2, 3, 4, all the numbers whenever you came in. Thank you so much for supporting me. Continue to rock with me. If you're not, you should totally be following me on social media. And the link to all my social media sites, the Twitter, the Instagram, the show's Facebook page is in the episode notes. And if you're not, you should totally follow my consulting company's Instagram page, which I'm going to put the link to that just, on its own in the episode notes. I just got to remember that. But yeah, you should totally follow that. Let's see what else. Podcast Happy Hour, the next one, Autumn is hosting it. She hosts the Lit Life podcast, and it's our 1 year anniversary. Like, we've been doing this podcast happy hour thing for a year. That's crazy. So am I looking in the right spot? That just okay. That was just looking kind of weird. Yeah, we've been doing this for a year, so she's gonna be hosting it. It's gonna be on Friday, August 20th. So it's generally kind of been on Saturdays for a while, but it's gonna be on a Friday. We usually do it at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific. I'll confirm that if that's incorrect, but for right now, we'll just say that's what it is. Let's see what else. That's all I got on that. Let's do the podcast shout out of the week, which I haven't done this in a couple weeks. Not on purpose. It's just I just had to hurry up and record or whatever. So this week it's going to be Film Rage. This is not a podcast that I have listened to, but this is somebody that I'm in a retweet group with. And so, I just try to support all different kinds of people, not just the people that I listen to, because I know a lot of podcasters that I haven't ever listened to their shows yet, because I have my rotation that I be really like struggling to get through right now. It'll take me literally days to finish a rotation when I tweet it. And it's not because I'm busier. It's because the type of busier I am is different. One, I couldn't zone out when I was creating standard operating procedures and all my service docs, because I actually needed to be able to think about what I was writing. But then also I have a lot more meetings at work, so I can't be zoning out listening to podcasts in a meeting that I'm supposed to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't hear from me as much as far as your rotation, no shade. It's not that I don't want to listen to anybody's show. It's just I've been super busy. But on the flip side, my downloads they're like way down. And I noticed this happened last summer too. And I was new to podcasting. I don't care about downloads because my downloads are way down and I still do the same content, whatever, because when I say this is literally a therapeutic outlet for me, it is. But it's just interesting because last summer was the pandemic and people were starting to work from home, no commute, etc. And then things picked back up, and then right around June again, downloads went way down. And shout out to y'all that continue to rock with me, but I don't know. But I say all that to say, if you notice I'm not tweeting, it's nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? It's just your girl been busy. So let's get into it. I haven't done a confessions episode in a while. And as always, I just give y'all what I have. So I don't, unless I'm having like a guest that I want to do a specific topic with, I generally, in some ways, I'll at least the week of have an idea of what I want the episode to be about. But because it's really whatever I have, I don't plan stuff out all like that. But it's interesting because this is where I get to be the free spirited side. And then on my business, that is like so much more structured. Like I have posting schedules because I post content to my Instagram and I have a Facebook page for my business too. And then I Twitter. Listen, I'm not about to have, it is already a lot having basically like 3 Facebook pages and 2 Instagrams. I'm not about to have multiple Twitters. So yeah, I post content though to my business pages every day because I don't know. I kind of see a lot of other business owners, more so content creators. So that's the part of me meshing the two together, just kind of putting some encouraging stuff out there. Of course, advertising that I'm accepting clients. Of course, I'm going to do that. But it's just really cool because being a content creator, I feel like had I not have done that first, and this is where everything that you do is preparing you for the next thing you're going to do. I kind of posted that the other day because it's like, had I not been a content creator first, what I don't even know that I would have started a company just because the way the things went about. I have always had kind of that whatever, own my own business type spirit because I was definitely struggling to say that word. Um, but I don't know that I would have necessarily started a consulting company. I don't know, maybe, but I do know that posting content every day to social media and just the way that I'm doing things and even what I've learned as a content creator about branding and the aesthetics of my page and stuff like that. Like I just love that I did this first because then when I'm posting to my pages, I don't know, it's just kind of really cool. But yeah, I haven't done a confessions episode in a while. But here we are. So I guess I'll start with this. And I hope I don't get emotional, but if I do, it just is what it is. A couple of days ago, no, actually yesterday my uncle passed away. It's technically my great uncle because it's my grandmother, my granny, I call her granny, my granny's brother. But he's like he was the baby, and so he's not too much older than my mom. And on that side, like I have 3 favorite uncles, and it's kind of sad because 2 of them passed. So I have my favorite uncle on my bio dad side he's the one who passed away a couple years ago, and I don't know if anybody else would have got a chance to be my favorite uncle, but that's the one that really reached out the most once the family found me and like built relationship, would check on me, etc. I've talked about that on here. So he was my favorite uncle. And then my uncle Peanut, he passed away yesterday. That was my favorite uncle on my mom's side. And then I have a favorite uncle on my like dad who raised me side. Still alive, praise God. But it what happened is he actually caught COVID, him and my granny, and they were both fully vaccinated. But he had underlying, I forget what my mom said it was, but underlying lung issues, and he was in the hospital for a while before he finally passed. And they live in New Jersey, and I'm just not in a place or position financially to be trying to go to the funeral. So I'm like really, really mad about that because not only am I not in the place financially to actually make that trip, but I also don't have PTO because a lot of it was just kind of used up with all the stuff that I had going on last school year with my daughter and appointments and meetings and this, that, and the other. So I don't know. It kind of sucks because but I'm glad that he actually came to my college graduation. And I could think of this other time when he like just showed up. When I was married, relationship was just not, I try to like not sugarcoat it, but I'm always careful about what I say about him since he passed away. I think if he was alive, I would be a lot more, I don't know, raw about whatever. But since he's not, I just feel like it's kind of disrespectful to just put stuff out there. Those that know what it was. My kids know what it was. So it's not like I'm trying to paint some picture that it wasn't. At the flip side, I'm not bitter. I wasn't bitter before he passed. Like I had forgiven him. But relationship was definitely not healthy at all. This was a huge part of why I took a step back and, you know, haven't just jumped into relationships. I'm slow to see like what people are about, because when you move too fast, you miss stuff in all things. It's all about preparation, the journey, step by step to get there. But I remember one time my uncle popped up in town, you know, based on what happened, and like that's how he was, you know, lived super super far away and still popped up and was like, if I ever needed him, he'd come back through. And then you know, I saw him between then and my college graduation, but my college graduation is actually the last time that I saw him, so that was 6 years ago. And it's very interesting because it's actually triggered some of the same emotions that I felt when my uncle on my bio dad's side of the family passed away, because both of them in whatever capacity were more of a father figure than my bio dad. Like my bio dad was actually supposed to come to my college graduation because I was around the time when we had reconnected, and then he just fell off and just didn't whatever, and pretty much fell off after that. Like we barely talked after that. And so like my favorite uncle showing up to my graduation when my dad was supposed to be there and didn't, you know, it's the little things like that where I'm gonna be honest. And it's funny because I say this a lot. I'm very honest about my feelings on here, stuff I would never post, tweet, whatever. Because if you gonna know my business and know how I feel, I'm gonna get something in return. So I'm gonna get that download. You feel me? But if I'm honest, because him and my uncle, so both my uncles, they were fathers, they were involved in their kids' lives, and they had definitely had more than one child. And here my dad, bio dad, I'm his only child. And it just makes me mad. It's not like I wish death on him, but it just makes me mad that the men who not only were fathers to their own children, but in ways father figures to me as their niece, like why they gone? Why did they die? Why didn't the vaccine do what it was supposed to do and not, like, you're not supposed to die? Does that not matter if you have underlying health issues? I'd be real confused on all that. But that ain't what I brought y'all here for. So we not about to get in that. But I'm just I'm sad. I'm angry. And it's crazy though, because at the same time as of all that, I'm going through I've talked about this on here before too. It's called Fresh Start. This pastor that he passed away last year. So it's kind of crazy because I've done Fresh Start. It's about processing the issues of your heart. I've done Fresh Start several times for different things in the last 10, 11 years. Got the DVDs first, then long story short, every time I've done it, the creator of it, he was always there. Sometimes his wife would be there, but like when they would come to my jobs or different places I've been, I've never done it with him not being there. So that was kind of weird, just because it's just this reminder that he's gone or whatever. But I'm doing that. So the interesting thing about it is I had already decided that I was going to process my bio dad and just the hurt. Let me give y'all some background information for those of you who are new or maybe even forgot, because I'll be talking about all kinds of stuff with my life on here. But when his brother, my uncle, passed away, my aunt started a group chat. We're all talking, da da da. You know how families get when people die. It's like, oh, we got to stay connected, and that it don't never last. You know what I'm saying? But it's always the intent, because losing someone makes you think whatever and feel whatever and realize have the importance of family and all that good stuff. And started the group chat. And I would be talking to my dad and I would be this, that, and the other. And he didn't acknowledge me at all. And why that bothers me the most is because he did it and everybody saw it. So it's like that public humiliation coupled with the rejection of you not even acknowledging me, but you're like speaking to everybody else. So that is when I washed my hands of the situation of him. I tried to call him once, like that day, because people started going in on him, like after noticing for a while that they're seeing like he's not responding. And the day they went in on him, Lord, I was like, okay, I'm gonna reach out this one last time. I left a voicemail on his answering machine and he never responded. And I just was like, okay, it's not on me to try to force this man to have a relationship. Like, I'm the child. Yeah, I'm grown, but in the grand scheme of the family hierarchy, I'm the child. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to be a dad. Okay, that sucks for me though, but I'm not about to keep, reaching out to somebody that doesn't want to be reached out to. I'm not about to keep trying to have a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to have a relationship. But what I learned from that is that rejection, and even the prior to that, because it was one thing when there had been no connection, and it's always the what ifs of what it could be, blah blah blah. But it's a whole nother thing when you see what it really is. Like, I had created this picture in my mind before 34 even, of what could be whatever. And then when you see what it really is, it's just, it's really unfortunate. But what it has done though is it made me realize why there's this part of me that always just feels tolerated. There's always this part of me that I really don't get too intimate. And I'm not talking, well, I mean, I guess it goes into that too. I don't get too intimate in relationships, feelings, all that stuff, because there's this part of me that just feels tolerated and is just kind of expecting the person to kind of like fade away, like my bio dad. And so me realizing, I started really realizing that being at my brother's house where I'm staying, because this is my brother and this is the sibling that I've always had the closest relationship with. So there should be no like insecurity in certain things staying here. It just shouldn't be that, you know what I'm saying? Because I know my brother, I know his character, I know whatever. And that's when I started realizing, okay, girl, you got to deal with that, because I can't help what happened to me, but I can help how I respond to it. It's something that, yeah, it's a process, it's a journey, whatever. But now that I know there's an issue, it's on me to do what I got to do so that I'm emotionally healthy. So that's why I always talk about that type of stuff on here, because that's probably why, who knows if people, and I'm talking about before online dating, which, side note, definitely deleted all my dating apps, because I don't have the time to be filtering through the bull. Like, it's one thing if somebody's trying to be for real and like build. I don't expect this perfect man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a perfect. We're all flawed. So I expect you're going to have some compromise. You're going to have to like grow together. You're going to whatever. But y'all have heard the type of stuff that I've dealt with. I don't got time for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely deleted all my dating apps a couple weeks ago, and this time I did it, and I feel like it wasn't me just doing it because whatever. It's like, okay, I actually really tried to be for real about this. I actually put effort into this. I just don't think this is the way that I'm going to meet somebody, because I need to feel vibes. Like, you can feel the vibes. I need that up front. And somebody, I don't know if he said this when we were online or if it was when we were talking afterwards or whatever, but I remember when I did that episode with Shayna and Jeezy, shout out to them, he's just not interested or something like that. And one of the things he said is it's probably best to meet somebody in person, you know what I'm saying, rather than trying to do the online thing, because you could peep the vibes right away. And I'm the kind of person that in most things I have to figure it out myself, like dive in. That's why I started. The business owner side of me is a completely different side that I did not know existed, because when I function in that, I'm a planner. I've always been a strategic thinker, but it's more about writing things out of how I'm going to do it rather than just doing it and figuring it out. But the free spirit side of me that just kind of wants to exist and figure stuff out as I go and then learn and grow, that's the side of me that was like, I hear what you're saying, but this might work out for me, because it has worked out for people. I know people that have met their spouses on some sort of online dating platform, and they are like have a solid marriage to the point, I'm not going to say, because no marriage is perfect, but they're still married. They're people that I talk to. So if it was like they're on the brink of divorce or something, I would know. And so I know it's possible. That just ain't the move for me. So yeah, I deleted all that. But as I was saying, I'm pretty sure that part of me that feels like people just tolerate me and doesn't really feel like, and this is all people, this is anybody, you know what I'm saying, that I'm loving and supportive and whatever of all people, but everybody, I'm always like only in so much. I don't get too deeply emotionally invested in anybody. Kids don't count, obviously. But yeah, that's just is what it is. So it's like I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was thinking about how people probably be thinking I don't want to be bothered with other people, or people probably think whatever, but the reality is it be my own insecurities that make me only interact with people at a surface level. That's probably the better way to say it or whatever. There's very few people that I really go pause. Let me not say that. There's that the relationship really goes too deep emotionally, just because it'd be a lot going on in my life, and you can't, I don't know, I just can't let and there is wisdom in that, but it's not just about depth of relationship. It's more so just attachment, or I don't know, but I just know that's probably a huge reason why. And man, by the grace of God, I'm the kind of person that believes that things happen when they're supposed to happen, even if they don't happen when I want them to happen. And so I'm very grateful that I have had this many years, because I've been single since '07. Yeah, there's been situationships here and there and whatnot, and I've talked about it on here, but like an actual for real we in a relationship? No, I haven't had that. And really I wasn't ready for that, you know. And so that's what made me decide to do Fresh Start, because I'm kind of like, uh you got some junk in your heart that you kind of need to process through, and you never really arrive anywhere because there's always going to be something that you're having to deal with. But I just think now is the time to where it's like I got to get to the root of, why do I feel that way? Why do I have insecurity in relationships that I shouldn't have insecurity in? And um but it's crazy because my uncle passed away the day it started. I still went, but it triggered those same feelings that I felt when my other uncle died, of, why is it the one who is actually there is gone, the one who and it just makes me so mad, because it's like, one of these days my bio dad is gonna die. Most likely it'll be before me. God willing, I'm here for a while, because I don't really want to, my kids are still kind of young. Um, God, so like when he passes, I know I'm gonna be mad, and part of why I'm gonna be mad is because, nigga, you had this many years. We ain't gonna talk about the years where I was too young, even though you should have been trying to seek me out, but that's neither here nor there. We ain't gonna talk about before 19, but there were the periods in time from 19 to we'll say 21, and then from 34 till now, that you could have tried to actually meet me something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen this nigga since I was 4. I'm 41. You could have made that happen. It could have happened and it didn't. So when he passes, I'm going to be angry because of that, you know what I'm saying? But then my uncle's passing, it just makes me so mad. And it's not like I wish death on him, because who knows how I'll really feel when he dies. I usually feel like, when I think about it, I feel like I won't care besides the anger. Who knows though? Because I mean, he that is my dad, you know what I'm saying? Bio dad. Let's not pretend like he really been a father to anybody out here. So yeah, so clearly, you know what I'm saying, have some things process, that's why I'm doing Fresh Start or whatever. And so in the midst of that, I'm actually like doing this kind of like it's called fasting, but like fasting alcohol this month, because if you pay attention, I've always said that on this platform, when I'm talking about things that are kind of more serious, matters of the heart, emotions, whatever, I usually try to do it sober, because I want to be sober minded and clear headed as I'm processing my emotions. And so I think it's very fitting that in a month where I'm going to be intentionally going through this thing, it's not every day in August, but it's every Monday in August, and that you go to the thing. And then you also have homework you have to do to kind of like write stuff out and process or whatever. So like, I just feel like it's very fitting that while I'm doing that, I need to be sober minded. But it's crazy because I'm also someone who doesn't want to feel like I'm super dependent on anything. And so now that I made that decision before my uncle had passed away, so it's kind of interesting because my grief will be different, because I don't think I've ever um fresh when somebody passed away had no sort of anything that, you know what I'm saying? Not like I've ever become like this alcoholic or whatever, but I don't think I've ever done that. And so this is different, but I think it's good, because I think I don't allow myself to feel anything too deeply, good or bad. And I think it is important for us to experience all emotions, deeply. Like I should feel deeply loved just as much as I could feel deep pain. You know what I'm saying? It's the balance of life and humanity. So I think it's very fitting, and there was periods of time where all I did was try to numb my emotions and whatever. So then it got to this point in my 30s when I finally kind of stopped trying to do that then feeling is weird. And it's still something that if I feel too deeply, it's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, watch out. So this is kind of the journey I'm on. Like I talk about my life and how I'm trying to grow, and I encourage y'all to do basically what I'm doing, because I'm not about to be out here like I'm talking what I'm walking. You talk it like I walk it, talk it like I walk it, Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Business it started. There are phases, so my goal is to have all 5 phases of my company launched and rolling by the end of the month. I mean the end of the year, so by December. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you are taking care of yourself emotionally and mentally, you know what I'm saying? If you feel something is going on, deal with it. Don't try to stuff it, because it's not going to go anywhere and it's going to come out in some other way that you had not expected. Make sure you're taking care of yourself spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you are doing whatever you got to do to have a healthy spirit. For me, it's my relationship with God. For you, it might be something else. Whatever it is, do what you got to do, because just be healthy. Be healthy physically. It's so crazy. I have not worked out in like a month. And I'm not gonna say I don't care, but as I said, I've prioritized what I needed to focus on, and I only have so many hours in a day, especially if you're not sleeping right or whatever. So I've been doing whatever, but I have really tried to be on top of my eating. It was slipping for a while, you feel me? But your girl got it back together. And then last but not least, make sure you are healthy in your relationships. Don't be out here toxic, which is why I'm processing the issues of my heart, because I could see ways that I was maybe not necessarily toxic, but just feeling insecurities that I shouldn't feel, you know what I'm saying, in the spaces and places that I was feeling them. So that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like I said, make sure y'all follow my Tamara the Dawn Inc. Instagram. I'll put the link to the Facebook in there too, but make sure y'all follow all that. Appreciate you. Thank you for listening. I'll see y'all again soon, or you'll see me actually, because I can't see y'all. Okay. All right.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for